Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kaz and I'm a channeler and a healer. In today's video we're going to explore what does self-care bring in for you. So sometimes in life we're very much concentrated on the outside world and other things going on, and we neglect ourselves. So we're going to have a little look about what putting more time and effort into yourself does for you. I have 3 crystals to choose from: crystal 1, crystal 2 or crystal 3. You can go ahead and choose your group and go directly to your reading. The timestamps are in the description box and also on the video chapters. I'll see you there. Crystal 1, welcome to your reading. I'm just going to pick up your crystal so I can channel through it and ask the question, what does self-care look like for you? And what does it bring in for you? God, there was 2 questions there. That was interesting. Self-care looks like making yourself entitled to things. So you may be a person who's always sat back and other people have put up their hands when there's something being either given out or expressions of interest, and other people have put their hands up and you haven't. So what I'm hearing is that you as a person have a lot of skill and a lot of talent, but you hide your light under a bushel. And part of your self-care would be allowing others to see your light and allowing others to see your gifts as well. So that's part of what's going on here. And an extension of that is when you do bring that out, it brings so many different gifts to you. It's not like do this and you'll get $1 million. It's more like do this and you'll get 1 million things flowing into your life that are really pleasing to you. So you might not be someone who's driven by money. You might be someone who loves to have good friends around you, loves to have celebrations with family and friends. I'm seeing a lot of flowers, so someone who loves to receive flowers or who loves a beautiful garden. I'm getting that for this group in particular, your self-care involves allowing yourself to receive. And that's an interesting way to look at self-care, but it is about caring for yourself. So I feel like for some of you, there are all these things that are waiting to come in, but because you're not allowing yourself to feel entitled to any of those things, they can't come in. So this is about your self-worth, this is about your worthiness, and so your self-care should be focused on making yourself feel worthy, because you are worthy, but it's feeling that and feeling worthy and knowing that you've got a lot to contribute to the world, because you may not feel that way at all, even though you're incredibly talented. Now, how do you achieve this? They're just going to tell me for you, some of it's about writing it out. I'm seeing someone writing in a journal. So it might be as simple as a gratitude list, or it might be a little story of your life. And as you're writing out your story of your life, you're seeing areas and patterns that are happening. So it might be starting with what you remember from your childhood, and you're seeing these patterns emerging where you see other people get exactly what they want. And it's because they feel entitled to it. So I think that we're taught to be good little boys and good little girls and not be greedy and not push ourselves in front and all of this sort of stuff. But it's not about that in that context. It's about knowing that you're worthy of receiving more than you've allowed yourself to receive in the past. Because when you look back, you will find many situations where you haven't allowed yourself to receive. And, you know, maybe someone offered you something, you said, oh, no, I possibly couldn't, but you really wanted it. And that's where you're denying your own gifts. You're denying yourself the opportunity to receive something. And so when you learn how to receive and how to acknowledge that you are worthy yourself, so many things will flow to you. It'll flood in. It'll be like, oh my goodness, this is almost too overwhelming now. And you know, you don't have to take everything that's offered to you, but know that you are worthy of every single thing that is offered to you. You might not appreciate that about yourself. I mean, so many people appreciate you, and I feel that you can't appreciate that they appreciate you. You have helped so many people throughout life, and a lot of them want to give to you for that reason. Now, for them, it might be that their love language is gift giving. So for them to express how much they appreciate you, they might want to give you something, but you're like, oh, no, I couldn't accept that. And it's really not allowing a fair exchange of energy here. And you may find that you've put out energy, and you think that that is because you're doing good in the world, and it is, but there always has to be a balance. So when you give out energy, you also need to receive energy in some form, and it's not always the same way that you put it out. So let's say that you babysit for someone and you do it regularly, and you've refused payment for that, but let them give to you in some other way. Or, you know, allow them to help you fix something around the house or whatever it is, because there needs to be that fair exchange. You're just not allowing it to happen. And with this self-worth becomes more input into yourself as well. So you're not only denying other people the ability to give to you, you're not giving to yourself either. It may just be all external. You're just giving and giving and giving and giving. And it may not be to people. It might be to your house or your job or your garden or whatever it happens to be. There still needs to be a balance. There still needs to be give and take here. Okay. Just know that there is so much that wants to flow to you if you allow it. All right. Group 1, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Crystal 2, welcome to your reading. I'm just going to pick up your crystal here so I can channel through it. We're asking the question, what does self-care bring in for you? Let's see here. Gosh, yours is a little different to group 1. I mean, I got that message immediately. This one's taking a bit of time to come through. So let's have a look here. I'm feeling a little bit vague and confused at the moment. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Perhaps you're not looking after your mental health as much as you could, because I am getting a sense of confusion here. Yeah, there's no clarity is what I'm getting. So maybe you're finding it hard to make decisions. Maybe you're feeling unable to find a direction in life at the moment. Maybe you're forgetting things. And none of this is permanent. This is all reversible, but you will have to work on the self-care around your memory or your mental health here to actually get the clarity that you want in life. So what this self-care around your mental space, and it doesn't need to be mental health as such with any specific disease, but it's more about your thinking, your thought patterns. And I'm being drawn to affirmations, looking at your belief systems, because it is making you a little bit confused about things. And so it may be that you're presented with something and you don't know whether to take it or not because you're so up in your head about it. So doing all the basic spiritual hygiene things will help, such as grounding and meditation. But it's almost like you have to put a lot of effort into it, and you have to make it a priority of your day to do that, and then you'll get the clarity you want and you'll be able to go ahead and do what you want. Because I feel at the moment, either there's a lot going on in your life and you're juggling 100 different things, or there's some sort of even maybe outside interference or internal interference. Maybe you've got hormonal imbalances that are causing you to be a little bit foggy. Maybe you're heavily involved with someone who is pulling all your energy and you don't have enough for yourself. Whatever it is, your self-care is pulling your energy back to yourself and concentrating on your mental space. So this may be what makes me happy, and start making that a priority in your day as well. So getting grounded, getting focused, getting some sort of mental clarity is what you will get out of self-care. So it may be that you've neglected your mind for a while, or you've just accepted that's how it is, that's how it will be. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm getting drawn to, maybe if you've tried a lot of things and you haven't tried a naturopath, you might like to go to a naturopath. Maybe you need some energy healing. Maybe you need to see a doctor. I can just see that there's so many things that you can do to try and remedy this. But what it comes down to is taking that step to prioritise yourself over everyone and everything in your life, because this is really important. Now, if this is substances that you're putting into your body, I can see that it is having quite a dramatic effect on you, and it will have a long-term effect if you don't nip it in the bud soonish. So that's something that you may need external help for, is to letting go of something. And it doesn't have to be illicit substances. It could be food, it could be caffeine, it could be dairy products, whatever it happens to be that clouds your thinking. So yeah, there's just a whole thing around thinking here, and mental clarity, and long-term memory as well. So, there are a lot of foods that help your memory. There are a lot of supplements that can help your memory. So this is where the focus for you as a group needs to be. Okay, I hope that gave you some direction, Group 2. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in my next video. Group 3, welcome to your reading. I'm just going to pick up your crystal here so I can channel through it and ask the question, what does self-care bring in for you? I'm getting joy and abundance. Right off the bat, joy and abundance, self-care, joy and abundance. Okay, so you may have gone throughout life caring for others in some form or another, and now it's your time, okay? So I feel like perhaps some things in life have settled down or are about to settle down, and it's time for you to look after yourself. Perhaps you haven't always had that as your priority. Maybe you've had, young children that you've been looking after for some time, and they're getting a little bit older and they're able to take care of more of their physical needs. So it's time to put some care into you. I'm seeing yoga, I'm seeing Pilates, I'm seeing a lot of movement. So whether it's dance classes you want to go to, or, hikes, or sunbathing in the forest, or forest bathing, or, it's about movement for you as a group. And that self-care comes from movement. Maybe you're already active, but what they're asking is for you to be active in a different way that is going to nurture you differently. So if you're always someone that goes for a bike ride on a Sunday, they're asking you maybe look for something else to do on a Sunday as far as movement goes. They just want you to start expanding your scope of movement, because it's almost like your body really responds to movement, and that then balances everything out around you. And it's almost like your mind, body and spirit are all in alignment when you have a lot of movement in your life. Maybe you have an office job where it's not always possible to do movement during the day. Maybe you can get a treadmill that fits under the desk and you can use that, or go out at lunchtime and go and get some fresh air and walk around, or go for a jog at lunchtime, whatever it happens to be. Because I feel like your body loves movement, and you might have been one of those children that could never sit still. And over the years, you've become more and more sedentary about that. And it might be that you get out of work and you just can't wait to start moving. Maybe you ride your bike to and from work. But I still feel like there's something that needs to be put in place, maybe even in the middle of the day, if you do that every day. Even if it's a simple jumping jack exercise, it's because your body needs movement, and it stimulates your mental space, it stimulates your heart space, and I'm just feeling that it just balances you all over. It just puts you into a space of balance. I feel like for some of you, you probably already do that whole thing where you get up every hour and go for a little, walk around. You're not sitting for that amount of time. But I still feel like it needs to be more movement. Maybe you need to, instead of just, going and getting a cuppa, you need to actually do some squats or star jumps or something after that hour, because for you it is really, really stimulating, and you'll get creative ideas and you'll get enthusiasm, and this will lead to lovely things coming into your life because you're sitting in a high vibrational energy. Yeah, group 3, that was interesting, quite different to the others. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next reading.